Kilkerran 12-year-old 46% single malt Scotch whisky, Campbeltown. Hi guys, I'm Trevor, and today we're reviewing a whiskey that has built quite a reputation in that sort of, I'd say, middle of the road market, a little bit above entry, so it's a solid sort of drammer's dram, if you like. It's from Campbeltown, and it's made the same as the people behind Springbank, made by the same people behind Springbank. So many whiskey fans consider it as probably one of the best bang for buck, one of the best value whiskies out in the market there at the moment. So we'll see. Just a little bit of history. To understand Kilkerran, we need to understand Campbeltown. Now, Campbeltown used to be, well, certainly in the 1800s, it was the whiskey capital of the world. There was about 30 operating distilleries at that time. And today, unfortunately, there's only about 3. However, I am aware that there are 3 brand new projects happening right now. One of them's about to open in Campbeltown, so that's exciting. There's a resurgence happening in that region. It's distilled by the Glengyle Distillery, which founded in 1872 but closed in 1925 due to a downturn in business. So always keep that in mind. Always drink lots of whiskey just to keep our distilleries open. You're doing a service to the industry. It remained silent, the distillery, for almost 80 years, but in 2004 it was opened back up again by the team actually behind Springbank. So that was quite an exciting development. But because there was already, I suppose, a whiskey called Glengyle, they decided to call it Kilkerran, and that's derived from a Gaelic term that I'm not even going to start to try and pronounce because it's too difficult, but it means the head of the loch of St. Kieran. That's what it means, but I can't pronounce it, honestly. If someone can, please let me know. Let's get into the technical stuff real quick. Obviously, Glengyle Distillery, Campbeltown, Scotland. It's 12 years old, and the ABV is 46%, and the cask maturation is about 70% bourbon and 30% sherry. So it's a nice little blend, nice little balance, nice little mix. There's no colouring in this, so no 1E50A to spoil the party. And it hasn't been chill filtered, which seems to be a big trend happening at the moment. That seems to be coloring's dropping away, chill filtration's dropping away, and it's a Campbeltown single malt whiskey. So I have a little bit in the glass there, but let's try a little bit more. I often like doing that, don't I? You know, just like it. Now, on the nose, and get my big beak into the glass. Got a very, very pleasant first impression. Mild, you know. There's not an overpowering smell like the last review. This is more refined, I'd say. First thing maybe jumps out is that citrus and malt. A very, very mild, I suppose, sea salt coastal influence there. Even I'm getting a floral type of thing going on there. There's lemon, maybe sort of an apple pear, light citrus, vanilla sort of. There's honey. There's a sweetness, definitely sweetness, and maybe underneath there's that sort of biscuit malt digestives. I've been known to like a McVitie's digestive with some butter on top with a nice cup of tea. Don't tell anyone. But given its Campbeltown heritage, there's also a subtle sort of industrial character which I get in that sort of region of drams. It's certainly not heavy on the peat, and it's certainly not heavy on the smoke. It's more of an oily mineral type of maritime note going on. Maybe a little bit more time in the glass, you might get more toffee and more of an earthy sort of thing going on. All right, let's try it. It's more than, oh, I'm getting pepper up front, aren't I? Ooh, yes, pepper. And then you get that sweetness in the honey, citrus fruits. But it did sort of surprise me just a little bit how instantaneously the pepper came forward. And now it's sort of dying away, and then the fruits are coming forward into the palate. Try it again. Yep, and then of course in the second attempt, there's not as much pepper because it's already coated the palate, so there's not as much pepper forward. Now it's the fruits, it's the salted caramel. There's a little bit of oak and dryness, salty sort of dryness, and dried fruits like dark fruits, maybe dates, that sort of thing going on. So the bourbon and sherry influence here, I think it feels just nice. You know, it's a nice blend, it's a nice mix. I think they've done a very, very good job. The bourbon side provides the freshness and the vanilla sweetness, while the sherry is going to add a bit of depth and a bit of subtle dark dried richness. Mouthfeel is excellent for 46%, and it even to me feels a little bit more powerful than 46%. You would think, you know, if I had to guess, I'd say somewhere around 50, 52. It's very good. The finish, I think the finish is sort of medium length. You know, there's a gentle smoke and oak sort of spice in there. The malt biscuit, touch of sea salt. It does, as it sits on the palate, it does dry, which is always very dangerous for me, because as it dries, you reach for the glass, you know, because you don't want your mouth to be feeling dry, so away you go. It's a satisfying sort of finish. Yeah, look, it doesn't try to be flashy, Kilkerran. It's a very solid dram. It sits in the middle, I think. There's no big peat, as I said. There's no big smoke, as I said. It's just nicely balanced. It's easy to drink. It's fresh, clean. And I think it does deserve its overall sort of attention that it gets, you know. For newer whiskey drinkers, I think it offers something very slightly different, and possibly even that entry point into smokier peaty type drams, because it is light in that area, and I think it represents exceptionally good value. It's not expensive, it's not cheap. It is in that sweet spot. So from a scoring point of view, and my one barrel being not for me, 5 barrels just awesome, it is somewhere in between. It's either 2 barrels, which is interesting, 3 barrels, which is a solid dram, or 4 barrels, which is an excellent whiskey. I'm going to give this an excellent whiskey because it is an excellent whiskey. I think it's actually bloody good, you know. It's complex enough for the enthusiast. It's approachable enough for new drinkers to enjoy it, I think. So I think it's a great value proposition. Please subscribe to the channel because it really does matter. It really does help us along. And also let me know if you've tried this one. Let me know if you're going to try it. And if you do try it, let me know what you think in the comments below. So, and as always, guys, until next time, sláinte.